Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this episode we're going to be replacing the throttle body in this Jeep Patriot. And if you've seen the videos up there, you've seen the two sensors that we replaced already. Every time that we tried to do a live data, we didn't have any readings from those sensors, so that was the easier route. We replaced those sensors, we had no luck, still the same thing, still loss of power. So the next thing to do, and the next thing that isn't reading, is the throttle body. So we're going to replace that, and that's going to get rid of that P2074 code that's been annoying us for a few months now. Just to do a recap, this is a 2.2 litre diesel engine. It's a w204, so it's a Mercedes engine. So what we're going to do is remove this cover first, and our throttle body is going to be right there, where you can see that sensor. We're going to have 4 bolts, and they're going to be either an E10 or an E12 socket. Basically, this is like a reverse torque socket, and Mercedes used them quite a lot throughout the whole engine. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to get any of them from the top. So we're going to have to go under the car, and I'm going to show you, or try to show you, how to get them out. What I recommend you to do is jacking up the car a bit, so you got more clearance when you come underneath. Jeep's got that jacking point right in the middle of the vehicle at the front, so that is quite handy, to be honest, to be able to jack it up. The idea of jacking up the car is for you to have more ground clearing. If you got a jack at home, use that, but if you got a set of ramps like this ones, it's going to help you even more, since you're going to have more space. And I found that the best way to access to the throttle body bolt is removing these 2 pipes, which this one goes like this. So it goes from there to where you see that tape down here. That there is a throttle body right here, and then this one here goes, if we go under, goes from the bottom of the throttle body all the way to this pipe here. And as you can see right there, well, I don't know if you can see it, those 2 pipes could basically go from the throttle body through what is called charge air cooler, or basically intercooler, and those are the 2 that we're going to have to remove in order to get to the bolts. And there's one more thing, there's a pipe, a connector right on there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you, I'll do my best, that we're going to have to unplug, because one of the bolts is right at the top. We don't have enough clearance to get any sort of socket or anything to get that bolt out. As you can see, that connector right there is the one that we need to remove, because the bolt on the top is inaccessible if we don't remove that. As I said to you, there's one bolt that I can get access to it, the one that has that push fitting right in front of it. I tried to get the pipe out, that push fitting out, but I just, for some fucking reason, I don't know why, maybe I'm too weak or whatever, but I can't push him and keep him in and drive the pushing out enough. I can do it, but it only does like halfway, and I can't just junk it out. I can't get it out. I don't know, it might be just me, don't know how to do it. This is the first time, so you know, whatever. What we're going to be doing now, we're going to try 2 things. First one is going to be removing the EGR cooler, EGR valve, intake and throttle body, and I'm going to do it in that order, because to get to the intake I need to remove all of that either way. So that way I reckon we're going to have a bit more space to actually get to the throttle body, to be able to get that bolt out. We're going to do that, and as well, my theory is that the throttle body might not be faulty. What it could be is that it's full of shit, as you can see on clip before, where it was full of gunk. So I reckon the EGR valve is as well blocked as well, I don't reckon, I know, because they give us a code anyway. So we're gonna remove that, we're gonna clean the EGR valve, we're gonna clean the intake, and we're gonna clean the throttle body. We're gonna put everything back together. We're gonna go for a test drive and see if the light comes back on, and if it does and it still says the same thing, we replace the throttle body, and that's it. But in order to replace the throttle body, I need to get the part number, which is inscripted in the throttle body, so then I know exactly which one to get, and get this done and over with forever. So this is our EGR cooler. What we're gonna do is remove the pipes that we got here. We're gonna be making probably a bit of a mess, even though, as you can see, the coolant is quite low, because we could go a leak, and that's something as well that we're gonna tackle at some point. But what we're gonna do first is remove this, then we can remove the EGR valve right there, and then we can remove the intake, and then our throttle body is going to be underneath, where just below where this sensor is. So let's crack on. This is the way that I'm getting the EGR cooler out. So we got one pipe here, which is like a normal clip, and then we've got this other coolant pipe here with this style of clips. I don't know the name, so I'm not going to be here acting like I know. Anyway, right there in that bracket, there's this connector, this sensor. So you got that one side, and this is the other side that connects to each other. So my advice would be remove this tab, just push it back, get it out of the way so it doesn't keep on coming against you. Right, just put it, I don't know, maybe under like that. Okay, and this one just slides on that bracket right there, so get that out as well. Maybe just for the moment just leave it right there, so you can get to the bolt that is right at the bottom here. I tried with a swivel, it did seem to work, but if you remove that, it's a lot easier. So we got one there, one here, one here, one here, and one down there, and then one just right here. They are going to be E10s. They are not too bad to remove, they're not too tight, let's say. What I like from working on Mercedes and not working on Subarus, at least the bolts are not fucking rotten. So yeah, let's get this out. As I said to you, you're gonna be making a bit of a mess, so I just put this right there. Maybe if you try to put it upwards so it leaks a bit less. So yeah, let's get them all out. Let's get that one out, and let's remove the coolant. We've got all those bolts that I just show you right here, and then there's one right underneath, right here in the middle, like if it was this one. Now, I thought I was going to be able to get like a swivel and get under here, but I think my best bet is going to be going through this way here. So where that bracket is, right here, right at the top. I think what I'm going to do is straight through here. But in order to do that, we need to remove all coolant reservoir. It's just 2 13 bolts. There's one right here, and the other one is just right there, which attaches to this bracket right here. Quite easy to remove. Let's get that out of the way. Let's see if we can actually get that last one. There were all of those right there, and there's one attached to this bracket right here. You won't be able to see it, but if you get your extension through these two aircon pipes right there, right at the bottom, you'll be able to see. I don't think I can show you. Oh yeah, you can see that one there. So let's get that one out, and then we'll be able to remove that off. Okay, here she comes. I think we are all out. A couple more turns, and let's see if we can get the EGR with EGR cooler with the bolt. Start dropping it. There we go. As you can see, the EGR is going to be covering fucking coolant, so make sure you prepare for that. Here we go, our EGR cooler. That's the bolt I was on about, right at the bottom, right here, and it connects right down there. Now, as you can see, this is a quite good invention from Mercedes. As you can see, this gasket got these like plastic clips, so basically the gasket won't actually go missing. Now removing the intake and the EGR valve here, but first of all I'm going to clean all of this because I don't want coolant to actually get into the intake. So let me just do that quick, and I'll be back in a second. Well, I hope this works and you can see how I remove this EGR. Are we ready? Oh yes, look at this. Look at this. Hope you can see it. Can you see it? Yes, look at this. Beautiful. Just like chocolate. Nice. This brings me a bit of joy, to be honest, because I might be right and the throttle body, which is down there, might not be faulty. It might be just all this shit that it has on it that I can't cope with it. So let's keep pushing. Once we remove the 4 bolts on the intake, so it's 1, 2, 3 and 4, we're gonna have another 2. Let me see if you can see them. We're gonna have one right there and one exactly the same. You can see it right here. I've seen some people removing the aircon compressor to get to all of this. I don't think it's necessary, at least till the point I am right now. I'm not going to do it. So what I'm going to do is just lubricate those 2 bolts that I just showed you, those E10s. And what we're going to do after, just remove this, and in theory we should be able to actually get out. But yeah, look how nice that is. I managed to get those 2 bolts at the bottom, and our intake is actually loose. So we're gonna see how we can actually remove it, see if we can just pull it up like this, or we're gonna have to do other bits as well. Make sure you remove all your sensors, like that one here. We need to disconnect that one, and it's gonna be one for the throttle body somewhere down there. So yeah, just take your time and make sure that everything is disconnected before you start junking everything out. We can remove, oh my god, won't that happen? Oh, brilliant. Anyway, even though our intake pipe is loose now, I won't be able to get it up through the top if I don't remove the throttle body. Now that is all loosey-goosey, what we can do is go under, and that bolt that I couldn't get before, we're going to be able to remove it since we got a lot of play. So if we go underneath, I can show you how much play we got. We take the bolts out, and then we're going to be able to take the intake pipe from the top, and I think the throttle body, it might actually come from the top if we twist it and pull it up, or we can just drop it from the bottom. So let's find out. That's our throttle body right there, and if you look, because we've removed the bolts on the intake, you see that has a lot of movement. So we're going to remove the bolt from down here, and that way we'll be able to actually take everything apart. So let's do it. As you can see, it was a bit of a struggle to get it off, but it is possible. I understand now why they've removed this. Maybe what you could do is just get the belt off and see if you can remove the brackets for the compressor, so you've got a bit more space here, a bit more clearance if you like. But it is possible. I think as well, if you remove this bracket right here and undo the power steering reservoir and just move it out of the way, you can still slide it through here as I just did. But yeah, as you can see, this hasn't been running or burning properly in ages. Just down there doesn't look much better. That's our throttle body right there, and we got it all now nice and loose. And before I see how I can get it off, I probably should be able to just put it on the side and pull it up, but I want to show you the throttle body sensor, which is right there. That's the connector that we're gonna have to disconnect in order to remove it. So what I'm gonna do, I think I should be able, as I said, to pull it on the side, pull it up, and then disconnect that, which comes through this loom right here. Now that we got all the parts removed, we're gonna start cleaning them. At the minute this is all a mess, so focus on this. What we're gonna do is take it outside and we're gonna give it a good clean. If you're cleaning things like the throttle body and stuff like that they got sensors or boards built in, what we're gonna do is always clean it downwards, so we don't spray anything inside here or we don't let it run down and it gets into here. So we're gonna clean all of that. I'm gonna put a bit of contact cleaner as well here, and once that is all done, we're gonna be able to put it all back together, and hopefully that will sort of issue and we don't have to buy a new throttle body. Once we got everything clean, as you can see, this could be a tiny bit cleaner, but it's much better than it was before. The throttle body is quite a lot better, and the intake pipe, as you can see as well, is even better than it was before. And we started to gain some hope that maybe by cleaning all of this we can actually make it run properly and we don't need to buy a new throttle body. Another thing that I don't know if I mentioned before when we were cleaning, when we were about to clean all of this, is that you should remove all your seals. So what I mean with that is this ones, look, this seals right here, as you can see, this one I put it already back in, but I took that out. I took the one that goes in here and I took the one that goes there for the EGR. This way won't eat all the rubber and you won't have to buy new seals. So now that all of that is nice and clean, what we're going to do is put it back in the engine. One thing that I found out, you got this sleeve that goes right inside here, this way. The way this sleeve goes in is by matching that line right there, you can see that groove, with this line right here. This hole will be somewhere around here near the boost sensor hole that you can see right there. So if I put it in, it's gonna look like this. We put it back in, make sure we are in line with that right there, press it in, and that's how it sits in. Remember, if you remove the gasket, don't forget to put it back in before you put your EGR cooler in, otherwise you're gonna have to remove everything out. So take your time and be mindful. And now that we got everything here ready to go back in, I'm not going to record all the process of how to put it back in. I'm just going to use a bit of a YouTube magic. So here we go. Here we go, everything back on. As you can see, EGR cooler, EGR valve, intake. Remember to put all your sensors and connectors and pins and shit back together. Don't forget to do that. As you can see right now, I still need to tighten this hose and that one there. I'm going to put coolant in the reservoir, put the reservoir where it goes, finish putting the pipes at the bottom, and basically we should be ready to start it. As you can see, everything is back on now, pipes as well, clips, everything. Put some coolant, we'll address the leak later on. So now all we got left is just start it, see what happens. So go for it, babe. Unfortunately, even though we did a very good job cleaning the EGR valve, cleaning the intake, cleaning the throttle body, it didn't work. The light's still there after clearing the codes and doing a few key cycles and running the car, doing some live data. It's still there. The throttle body is still not responding. I can't see the percentage of the position of the throttle body, even if I put my foot down or even if I don't. We did kind of know that this could happen. I was just hoping that after cleaning all of that, this will erase the code, and it was going to be only because it was full of gunk. But well, it is what it is. At the end of the day, this video was to show you how to replace your throttle body, and as well to show you that sometimes, and I was talking to a guy called Carlos in the comments of one of the videos before on this series, and he said, to be honest, he addressed it properly. Most of the time when you're working on cars, you don't find the fault the first time. Sometimes it takes time, it's a try and error, and I know on YouTube it's so easy to just go type whatever you need to know, and someone comes up and he says, oh, I know everything, I know how to do it, do this, and boom, magically all done. But that takes time, that takes research. Even if you know what you're doing, sometimes it doesn't work. So we're gonna have to change that throttle body. So I'm gonna buy one and I'm gonna replace it. I'm not gonna show you the process because that is basically what I just done. But if I find anything else about this vehicle, about this code, I will do either a short and I would link with this video, or I do a small video talking about it, just basically explaining what else I found out. I'm gonna stop rambling now. So thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing if you do, and I shall see you very shortly.